And so I understand that it's like it's a part of working hard, and nobody wants to work. As a vocalist, I don't want to go with my work being unnoticed. It's like we all do what we do because we want to be respected. We want our work and people to recognize our work and respect us.
What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. If you haven't already, check out my video essays on Ralph Tresvant's Living in a Dream, Bobby Brown's Mystical Magic, New Edition's Tender Love, Every Little Step, as well as the album retrospectives on The Candy Girl, New Edition, All for Love, King of Stage, and Under the Blue Moon. In each video, I dive into interesting topics not commonly known about New Edition. By 1986, New Edition was now a quartet and Bobby Brown a solo artist, both releasing albums by the end of that year to relatively modest commercial success. However, New Edition's future was still in question. The answer would eventually come in the form of their musical contemporary, Johnny Gill, who had also began making a name for himself in the music industry in 1983. In 1985, while New Edition was struggling to break away from their bubblegum sound and image, Johnny Gill's contrasting image and voice hindered his appeal with music audiences, making a second attempt at crossover success with the second studio album. In this video, I'll be discussing the history leading up to and slightly after the Chemistry album. While you're here, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and without further ado, let's get into it. Johnny Gill's musical aspirations started in his hometown of Washington, D.C. By the age of 5, Johnny was singing in church with his three brothers, a group organized by his father called the Gill Special. The church continued to be an environment where he could foster and showcase his vocal talents. By age 8, Johnny would be the lead singer of his church gospel group, Little Johnny and the Wings of Faith. It was at John Philip Sousa Jr. High School that he would meet Stacy Lattisaw, who had already made her musical debut in 1979 and had released her second album that year in 1980. Stacy Lattisaw would host a talent show at her house, and it was there he would be discovered.
But you've been working with Johnny for like half your life, it seems. I mean, you've been knowing the guy for that long anyway.
Yeah.
When did you guys first meet?
Ooh, in elementary? Yeah.
5th grade, 4th grade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 4th grade.
Were you both
Kimball
singing?
Elementary School.
Were you both singing then, or had interest in singing?
Actually, we were in the Glee Club together.
Oh, really?
Mrs. Word.
Well, you remember all this stuff, don't you?
Some of it, yeah. We were in a Glee Club together in elementary school, and I started singing. I did my first album when I was 12 and a half on Atlantic Records, and at the time, I never really heard him sing before, and we used to have talent shows in my basement at home in Washington. And I heard him singing one day, and I couldn't believe his voice, because he always sounded so much older than what he was.
Stacy's father would record a demo tape for Johnny and submit it to Atlantic Records. After hearing Johnny's demo, Henry Allen, president of Cotillion Records, flew Johnny out to New York and signed him to his record label. Following that, work will begin on his debut album. Freddie Perrin was brought in to produce the entire album and co-wrote 4 songs. 3 years later, Freddie Perrin was brought in to produce New Edition's Under the Blue Moon album. Amongst the 10-song LP, the album spawned Super Love and When Something Is Wrong With My Baby. Each song only charted on the R&B chart at number 29 and number 57. The album didn't make a commercial or critical impression, and the biggest issue was the mismatch of Johnny's image and his mature sound. Johnny Gill's voice and musical content transcended his age, presenting a marketing roadblock. Cotillion Records would respond by pairing him with Stacy Lattisaw on their duet album, Perfect Combination, a response that would prove to be a step up from his first solo effort. Produced entirely by Narada Michael Walden, with his title track reaching number 75 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 10 on the R&B chart. The performance of the Perfect Combination album made way for his second solo album, Chemistry. Linda Creed, Bill Neal, and Dennis Matkoski were brought in to produce the album, Linda Creed being the most prominent of the three, writing The Greatest Love of All, originally recorded by George Benson and released as a single in June of 1977, and peaking at number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the R&B chart. The song was later covered by Whitney Houston and released as a single on March 18, 1986. Whitney Houston's version surpassed the success of the original, with it spending 3 weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and selling 2 million copies. Linda also co-wrote Betcha by Golly Wow, originally recorded by the Stylistics, released as a single on February 17, 1972, and reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the R&B chart. Later recorded by Prince on his 20th album, Emancipation. In true Prince fashion, he does the original justice and takes it to the next level. Released only as a promotional single, it charted on 5 different Billboard charts, reaching the top 10 on the US rhythmic and hot R&B hip-hop airplay charts, performing well overseas in the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, to name a few. Notable songwriters Danny Cimbello and Kathy Wakefield would also contribute to the album. Danny Cimbello, who worked on New Edition's self-titled album and All for Love. Kathy Wakefield co-wrote the Jacksons' hit Torture with Jackie Jackson for the Victory album in 1984. Chemistry begins with the love ballad Half Crazy, written by Linda Creed and Lonnie Jordan. A simplistic piano melody makes way for dramatic strings that set the stage for Johnny Gill's reintroduction. Johnny Gill illustrating his fading sanity after the loss of the woman he loves. Lyrics: "No, I haven't slept a wink at all since you've been gone, and my eyes are kinda tired from crying all night long. It's so lonely here without you, darling, come back home, 'cause I'm half crazy feeling sorry for myself, worried you'd find someone else to love. No one else could love you like I do" is grounded by the brief moment of no vocals. A moment for the woman to process the truth she just heard. Genuine pleas of heartbreak and desperation reaffirmed by the chorus and bridge. Johnny's vocals end with the exclamation point, driving his point home in case it wasn't heard or understood. Half Crazy would be the album's most popular and successful song, released as a single late 1984 and reaching number 26 on the R&B chart. The music video does the song justice, featuring a young Sherry Headley who portrays Johnny's love interest, reluctant to respond to his vocal cry for love. Ronnie DeVoe will later say that he tries to get Johnny to include the song on their tour set list.
Oh yeah. Chicago was just, I mean, we play a billion places, but the energy.
Why you don't say Half Crazy? You know that was my jam. I'm half crazy.
Man, I've been trying to get them to put that in the show for probably about a good 15 years.
Man, you had to look at that curl.
Jerry curl.
Yeah.
The only way I'll do it is if they bring me some Jerry curl juice.
We will get you some Carefree Gold with silk moisturizer.
Johnny Gill's artistic versatility is comparable to Alexander O'Neal with the album's next song, Can't Wait Till Tomorrow. Written by Barry Alfonso, Dennis Matkoski, and Bill Neal, a complete 360 from Half Crazy with a borderline action-packed rhythm that could easily find itself on a film soundtrack. The song makes a point to establish the tone with light guitar licks and horns that add to the excitement. The background singers support Johnny with lyrics, "Can't wait till tomorrow, this love is too strong to fight," while Johnny confronts his love interest with a sense of urgency. "So your heart's been abused by somebody else, you wonder if I'll do the same. But look in my eyes, you'll feel what I feel, I swear that I'm not playing games." The highlight of the song is the horn arrangements by Jerry Hay, a frequent collaborator of Michael Jackson, who would be responsible for the horn arrangements on Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad, most notably on The Way You Make Me Feel. Can't Wait Till Tomorrow was the final single from the album, peaking at number 49 on the R&B chart. Can't Wait Till Tomorrow is hands down my personal favorite from the album. The album transitions into Don't Take Away My Pride with an optimistic tone and quick saxophone riffs. Written by Linda Creed, Lonnie Jordan, Freeman King, and Kent Perkins. The lyrics contrast the mood the song sets. "We used to spend our evenings making love by the fireplace, but I can see that your love has just faded away. Girl, it's written all over your face. Now all you left is just some memories and the echoes of a sad love song that I play again and again in my mind now and then." The rich and layered instrumentation is on full display during the song's break, with the saxophone teased early on, now front and center, leading the way back into the song's chorus that repeats until the song's ending. One Small Light, a songwriting collaboration between Danny Cimbello, Kathy Wakefield, and Dennis Matkoski. Much like Can't Wait Till Tomorrow, it establishes a sense of urgency, and its lyrical content describes danger, true to Kathy Wakefield's songwriting style. Something in the night is stalking, like a cat on tender feet. I have a fear inside my heart, but nothing is revealed to me. Wondering how to fight a danger that I never see. I am one small light, trying hard to save my life, shining out upon the shadow of my destiny. The hard-hitting chorus along with the rhythm easily makes this song one of the album's standout songs. Maintaining the fast pace, The Way That You Love Me is the next track, written by Bobby Caldwell, Jason Shees, and Aaron Zigman. A repetitive slap bass holds up the synthesizers and guitar licks. Johnny's vocal performance doesn't disappoint with his voice leading into the chorus. The Way That You Love Me is proof of what's created when solid background vocalists, great studio musicians, and a talented lead singer come together. There's too much happening on the song musically for it to be skipped. To compensate for the high energy of the last few songs, Because of You is a reminder that Johnny Gill is a balladeer at heart. Written by Leslie Hall, John Lind, Linda Creed, and Dennis Matkowski. Similar to Have Crazy, Because of You is fraught with strings that enhance the romance. Taking a moment to appreciate the object of his affection with lyrics, Because of You, there is nothing I can't do. And each test that life puts me through, I'll get by because of you. One can say it's a song that was written with live performances in mind. The spotlight is on Johnny as he ad-libs amidst the backing chorus. Vocal nuances that he will become synonymous with years later. Amongst the many vocalists of his time, at such a young age, Johnny Gill stands tall. The album's title track comes next, written by Richard Wolfe and Dennis Matkowski. Once the beat drops, the lights are dimmed, and the mood is set with a Quiet Storm vibe. Johnny Gill, as always, talks directly to his love interest, marveling at the dynamic between them. How do you do this to me? Must be the chemistry. It's part of you and me. We've got the formula for love. It's the way I feel when you're next to me, working in me like a drug. The chorus is the hook of the song because of Johnny's catchy delivery. Chemistry is standard with the times, but stands out. And the album is rightfully named after it. The song ends with the backing vocals being prominently heard and properly contrasting Johnny's voice, leaving much to the imagination. The eighth and final song, I Found Love, is Johnny's parting gift to listeners as he would not be heard again as a solo artist for some time afterward. Written by Monty Seward and Denise Williams, I Found Love is food for the soul of the hopeless romantic, catering to the aspirations of those seeking the same love Johnny Gill speaks of on the song. People say happy endings are only found in fairy tales, but I stake every chance on true romance or it's not for sale. The Chemistry album, although a solid follow-up to his first album, was not commercially successful, receiving some critical praise, yet criticized for his young age in comparison to his mature voice. Johnny Gill's plight at the time could be easily described by a quote by the great Terry Lewis. You can sing a great song, but my daughter will never like it because you did it, because you don't appeal to her. Johnny Gill was yet to have the visual appeal that could capture audiences the way his music did. Although comparisons were made to older contemporaries like Luther Vandross, Johnny Gill stood out on his own. It wasn't his time to shine just yet. In 1986, Johnny Gill would sign a new record deal with Motown and was preparing to record his third album. If you made it to the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure again to like, comment, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.